What's going on, Gifted Hands family? It's Elijah here bringing you another lesson. And in this video, we're going to go over how you can take your hymns from a level 1 approach, which is this, to this. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna walk through 7 levels. Here at Gifted Hands, we have a 7-level system where all gospel musicians fall on a range between level 1 and level 7. So we're gonna walk through all 7 levels today, and I'm gonna show you like how a gospel musician would approach the song, I Love You, Lord, using this 7-level system, starting with level 1. So let's dive into it. Level 1 is a novice. So this is where you're pretty much just getting comfortable with the note names of the piano. You're just learning your major scale and like major and minor triads. So this would be the basic approach. I love you, Lord, and I lift my voice to worship you, oh my soul, rejoice, take joy, my King, in what you hear, and let it be a sweet, sweet sound in your ear. All right, now that last little part probably wasn't level 1, but anyway, that's a basic level 1 approach. Pretty much, like I said, you're only playing major and minor triads. Most of the time, this is really gonna be, you're starting off with like your 1, your 4, your 5 chord, and then your 1, right? You might have, like a little minor 2 in there somewhere. You might have a little minor 6 triad in there somewhere, but we're playing really basic chords. A lot of times also at level 1, you're playing in root position. You might not even be playing inversions yet. So we're playing basic triads, major and minor triads, usually in root position, no melody line, no embellishments, no nothing like that. We're just playing the basic chords, all right? That's level 1. So in level 2, we're starting to add a little bit more sauce, a little bit salt, little pepper, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, you know what I'm saying? So at level 2, we're gonna add in, you should know, or you should be starting to learn all of your diatonic chords. So when I say diatonic chords, we're in the key of A major for this song, and our diatonic chords are our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. And these are just basic triads. Once again, we haven't added any 7ths or any crazy extensions or alterations yet. Just basic triads, all right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. So you know your diatonic chords. And then you're also going to maybe be adding in now some like arpeggiation and some melodic movements. Not that you're adding in like counter melodies or anything like that, but you're starting to play a little bit more melodic at level 2. So here's what it would sound like. Right? So I'm just still taking the basic triads. But once we have the triads, at this point, level 2, you're starting to practice some inversions and arpeggios, right? So you can start to incorporate that into your playing. So you can create these melodic movements by just using like the 3 notes of each triad. right? So that is level 2. So let's go to the level 3 approach. So with this level 3 approach, now we're starting to add some inversions. So if you heard, I did something like, well, actually, even before we get into the inversions, one thing I would say the big difference is you might start playing more melodically. So like in that approach, I'm adding the melody now, and I'm kind of accompanying myself, playing the melody with the right, and then I'm playing a combination of the chords with my right hand and my left hand. They're starting to work together, right? So that's the first part. I love you, Lord, and I lift my voice. Right? Now, granted, you're not gonna be playing the chords with your left hand at this level, but you definitely should start practice playing the melody with your right hand, okay? So we got the melody in our right. We're starting to add some melodic elements to our playing. And then we also have inversions. So when we started off, we did, I love you, Lord, and I lift. So now this is the 2, right? It's inverted in my right hand so that the melody's on top, and I lift my voice. And then instead of going back to the 1, I added an inversion of the 1 chord. So we got 1, 2, 1/3. This nice inversion right here. Then to worship you. And then 4, back to that inversion, or worship you, oh my soul, rejoice, take joy, my King, in what you hear, and let it be a sweet 2 in your ear. All right, so we're adding in some inversions as well. And then you might add in some basic progressions, like kind of like passing progressions, which would be like a 2, 5, 1. You can add in some things like that. Those are the things that you're working on at level 3. So here is the level 4 approach. All right, so with this level 4 approach, we're starting to add in some more color and like more embellishments in our playing. So some of the things that you heard are gonna be extensions and alterations. So at level 4, I'm starting to practice, instead of just playing basic triads, I'm playing some, major 7ths. I'm playing some minor 7ths. Even with the dominant chords, if I'm playing a dominant chord, it might be like a 13. We're adding in these extensions, and then even like, I think I played a chord like this, or even with other dominant chords, we're adding in some alterations. This chord is like a F sharp dominant, but I'm adding in an alteration. I have a flat 9 and even a sharp 5. We're adding in alterations. This just gives us more color and what I like to call emotional depth to our playing, right? So we also have some other cool passing progressions that we can throw in at this level. We have stuff like a minor 2-5 pass. So you heard, take joy, my King, in what you hear. So you heard something like this? All right, 3, 6, 2. That's a passing chord, or passing progression, sorry, to get to the 2. And so instead of just playing one chord, I'm playing a progression, and that progression is a minor 2-5-1, or a minor 2-5 progression to take me to B minor. So I'm building a 2-5 progression to get to B minor. Now technically that is the 3 of A. We're in the key of A, so that's the 3 of A, but I'm just playing it as a half diminished, right? Instead, it's not following the diatonic harmony. So 3 to the 6, and the 6 is dominant. But really where that progression is pulled from is the key of B minor, and it's a 2-5. Okay? So that is that progression right there. You're hearing some of that stuff, and then you might also hear at level 4, you might be working on and practicing, incorporating into your playing, like this chord right here, this minor 6 chord. Something that you'll hear all the time in gospel, even this walk up is built off of like that minor 6 chord. And normally this is a chord that's played, that's substituted for the 4 chord. So instead of playing a major chord on the 4, we'll play a minor triad, and then you add the 1, 3, 5, the 6, which is why we call it a minor 6. It's a minor chord with a 6. So you'll start hearing this chord incorporated at level 4. And the context that we use that is, take joy, my king, in what you hear. Let it be a sweet, sweet sound in your ear. You can throw it in a bunch of different places, but right. I love you, Lord, and I lift my voice to worship you. Oh, my soul, rejoice. We can throw it in right here. Take joy, or take joy, my king. It's a good chord to throw in when you're trying to, like, if you want to pass back to the 1. So those are some of the things, some of the chords, some of the progressions and like theory concepts that you'll start to incorporate at level 4. Let's jump into the next one. Here's our level 5 approach. All right, that is our level 5 approach. And there we're adding like some rootless chord voicings. I'm adding in some tritone movements. So let's just talk about some of that stuff right there. So we're starting to incorporate at level 5, which is you're starting to reach like an intermediate advanced level, or an advanced intermediate level, I should say. And if you're gonna apply like rootless chord voicings or some tritone movements in your left hand, here's what you might do. I love you, Lord, and I lift my voice. We could do something like that, right? An upper structure triad movement, and there I have like just a tritone. So essentially what I'm doing is trying to get to the 4. To word, the next chord, essential chord in that song is a 4. So I'm trying to create a movement to get me to the 4. I know that I can play the 1 chord, 1 dominant, A dominant is going to take me to D major. So 1 takes me to the 4. Instead of playing the whole chord, I'm gonna play just a tritone for A. And then my right hand's gonna play a triad, or even like a combination of triads, like a movement, triad movement. That's just like a A dominant. So this is technically a rootless chord voicing, and I'm also playing a tritone in my left. And to worship you, oh my soul. And then adding some more passing chords. This is like a 2, so 5. What I'm doing is 5, 2, 5. But to add movement, instead of sounding like I'm just going back and forth, then back and forth, I'm gonna add movement. I'm gonna walk up in my left hand. 5, 2, but I'm inverting the bass notes. And then here's the 5 again, but once again, I'm kind of playing these rootless. I'm inverting them or playing them rootless, however you want to look at it. And then I can even go the opposite direction. 5, 2, 5, 5, 1. Okay, so 5, 2, 5, 5, 1. And a lot of these are, this is the 5, but it's rootless. 5, inverted. 2, kind of rootless. 5, 2, 5, and this is like a rootless E, whoops, dominant, to the 1. And once again, this is inverted. Enjoy my king in what you hear. And then in what? 3 to the 6. Then when I get to the 6, instead of just going like to a straight dominant chord, or even to a minor, in what you hear, I'm gonna go suspended. So now I'm starting to, at this level, we're starting to kind of mess with the harmony. I might not reharmonize the whole progression and add completely different chords to the progression, but I will take the chords that are given and I will experiment with the chord qualities, with the alterations, with the extensions. We're messing with everything that we can when it comes to the chords that are in the song, the bare bones. We're still sticking with the bones of the song. In what you hear. All right, so we got something like this. Or, let it be a sweet, sweet sound. And then we got some nice little passing chord that you could add in there, depending on what the vocalist does, or if you're playing it with the vocalist. Let it be a sweet, sweet sound in your ear. And then I think at the end, we go back to the 1, right? But instead of just going back to, a basic 1, A major, or even like a major 7 chord, we could do in your ear, or in your ear. We could do something like that, which is 1 dominant. So instead of just resolving to major, I'm gonna resolve to dominant, which makes me feel like I need to go somewhere now. The chord progression has to move. And I'm looking at this kind of as like a D minor 6 over A. So 1 dominant, 4 minor over 1, or you can even, that's another way to play it. And then resolve into major. All right, so those are some of the things that you can add at level 5. Let's go to the next level. Here's the level 6 approach. All right, so with the level 6 approach, we're stepping a little bit farther outside of the box. We're adding more alterations, we're adding extensions, we're starting to add some advanced scales as well. You're starting to work on altered scales, whole tone scales maybe, you're doing you're adding whole tone scales, altered scales if you're playing altered chords. Right, you got your whole tone scale, maybe you're throwing in some diminish. Some diminished scales. We're throwing in advanced progressions as well. So advanced progressions could mean like we're starting to add passing progressions that are using chromaticism, or we're using chords that are outside of the key. All of these things that you're using at level 6. Level 6 is an advanced level, so pretty much you're learning everything there is when it comes to harmony approaches, but maybe you haven't mastered them completely. You don't have them in your muscle memory. So let's look at some of the movements we might use at level 6. We said chromaticism is one of the things that you could use. So if you're gonna use chromaticism, here's a progression that we could throw in. Maybe we're at the end of the song. Let it be a sweet, sweet sound in your ear. So we're at the end of the progression, and I know I'm going back to the one. Let it be a sweet, sweet sound. So I might do something like that, like something really random. So what was that? That was just a bunch of chords thrown together. Da, 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 da. I might do something like that, right? Which is flat 7, 6, and then from the 6, I'm gonna walk it down chromatically. 6, flat 6, but I'm just taking that same voicing, locking the voicing in, moving it down chromatically to get to the 5. Now I know I'm playing a 5 minor. I walk down from the 6 to the 5 because I know normally I could do something like that's a very common progression in gospel, right? So 5 minor, 1 to the 4. That's something that people are used to or familiar hearing, but instead of doing that, I'll do ba-da-da, kind of just skip that one chord, da-da-da, straight to the 4. So we got flat 7, 6, down, 5, 4, and then maybe like a 2 minor, 2 half diminish. So if we're at the end of the phrase again, take joy, my king, in what you hear, and let it be a sweet, sweet sound in your ear. All right, so that's a random progression that uses chromaticism, a passing progression that you could use. And then we talked about scales as well. So maybe instead of doing that, we do something a little bit simpler. We could do something like, let's see. I love you, Lord, and I lift my voice to worship you, oh my soul. Rejoice. So I might do something like that. So something like that. It's kind of like an altered. I'm thinking an altered. So I'm playing an E dominant chord, E altered dominant chord, right? Or even we can make it like that, but I like this chord more. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about, but I'm just gonna play it with my left hand. So there's the voicing. And then the line is taken from like an E altered dominant scale. So this is 3, flat 9, 9. We could do or I like that more. So so 3 of E, flat 9, 9, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 4, 5, 6 or 13, 9, flat 9, da 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 da. Something like that. That is a type of altered scale, okay? So those are some of the concepts that we can add at level 6. Let's go to the last one, level 7. All right, so level 7 is a point that you reach where everything that we've talked about up to this point, level 1, all the stuff from level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, you have reached a point of effortless mastery. What does that mean? When you've mastered all of these concepts, that means you're able to incorporate them into your playing without having to think about them, without having to use conscious resources, without having to use your brain. Essentially, this stuff is so ingrained in your muscle memory, in your heart, in your ears, in your mind, in your soul, that it can just flow out of you, right? So when you hear the great gospel musicians, when you hear the Corey Henrys, when you hear the Jaden Arnolds, when you hear the Jason Tysons, the Jason Whites, all the Jasons, when you hear, who else is out there? Eddie Brown, Mike Burrell, Kevin Powell, the list goes on and on of great world-class gospel musicians. When you hear those guys, they've played these movements, these chords, these different voicings so many times in so many different ways, in all these different keys, not just in one key either, in all 12 keys, that things are effortless, essentially. They just flow out of them. So that's the point that you're trying to get to. That is level 7. That is the point that we want to help you get to. If you're interested in improving your playing, if you feel stuck and you need somebody to kind of guide you through these levels, then we are getting ready to launch the Gospel Keys University. It launches June 26th this week. And sign up for it. It will give you a step-by-step plan, regardless of what level you're at, whether you're on level 1, whether you're on level 3, whether you're on level 5, wherever you're at. I'll give you a step-by-step guide. I'll give you lessons, theory lessons, technical exercises, and songs that are going to help you improve your playing and help you to get from one level to the next. All right, so if you're interested in becoming a better musician, check out Gospel Keys University, available very soon. All right, that's all I got for y'all today. Peace out, have a blessed day.